me with aggression, with a live with over 1,000 people watching. After I was very disgusted with the situation and I talked very down to the officer because of how he handled the situation, I asked him to get the fuck off my property. Yes, and I'm never going to lie to you. So when I speak, I'm always going to speak and tell you the truth. So excuse my language.
You've always been very candid. That's been my experience.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. So go ahead. What?
The sergeant that came here, I asked for a sergeant or a lieutenant because I moved from the residence that I was staying at. What I realized is that there has been a vehicle.
Let me just stop you right there for a second just so that I have updated notes. What is your new address?
Okay, my new address is, how about this? I'll have Mr. Benjamin send you that new address because we're actually on a live recording and there's thousands of people listening to this conversation.
All right.
Okay?
All right, if you could get me that information, I'd be very grateful.
Not a problem. At the time, basically, we moved from that location due to the fact that I went to my leasing office and I asked him how come I was not given the keys to my garage. Apparently, I felt someone was coming into my house through my garage. I asked the management, why wasn't I given the keys to my garage? And that someone was in my house. I also was told with the security system that I put in my house that I had to give the leasing office the PIN number to have access to this security system or I could not have it in my home, which I didn't understand. If I'm paying for security, why do I have to have the leasing office with the 4-digit code that protects my house? That didn't make sense to me, where they can turn off my alarm system at any point in time. That doesn't make sense to me. So I asked him about these things and I asked him about why was I paying for stainless steel appliances and things that I did not receive. He was unaware of these things. But at that time, he did not realize I was recording the entire conversation and my lawyer was sitting there. As I went to speak, he told me to shut up and be quiet and sit down and don't speak until he's finished speaking.
Take a step back. The officer said that to you?
No, this is the management of the complex. Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So when the management did that to me, I then stood up and I told him, you don't have the right to talk to me. And this is not back in the days when we was dealing with slavery. Don't ever speak to me out of term or anything like that. And I was very nice to him before I got riled up. One thing I don't like racism. It riles me up at any point in time of the day. It makes no sense. And that's just it. It just moves me. Just like I don't like pedophiles or rapists neither. Or men that beat on women. Nor people who abuse power. So then I called the police for that situation. The officers that arrived was very disgusted and angry with me then.
What date did you call?
All I know is all the calls was made back in, Ben, when did you go to that office with me? Because you would have noticed, you could look for the day that they sent you the paper saying that if I go back to the office, I'll be trespassing.
I believe it was March of 2020. March 2021.
March of 21. So this would be of last year.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then the officers responded, and what happened?
Nothing. They basically told me don't go back to the office anymore, that if I go back to the office, I'll be arrested for trespassing. And if I wanted to speak to them, they contact Mr. Benjamin, told me to speak to their lawyers.
Okay. And what would you have, what were your expectations that should have happened? What do you believe should have happened?
Y'all should have investigated what I was saying and everything else.
Okay, but
investigated what I said about my house.
That you believe had occurred?
Yes.
I understand that there's bad behavior and there's racism and the other things that you described. Do you believe that you were the victim of a crime? And you have your attorney there if you want to dial it in.
I was a victim.
A crime that you believe the police could have investigated?
So what I believe is this. I've been being a victim of a crime since 2018, me and my kids. Hold on. You going to let me talk or you going to keep jumping in? I'm straightforward because I'm not going to do it to you and I'm going to tell you exactly how I am. Okay? One, don't keep asking me a million of the same questions 1,000 different ways. I'm not a dummy. Okay?
Ma'am, all right.
Hold on. Look, I'm going to listen. I'm going to tell you. Hello.
To help you.
Tell him when he's ready, call me back and then we could talk. Bitch. Because I'm not going to go back and forth with nobody. And then now we're going to break it down from day one so he can understand. Okay?
You're leaving out that you reported burglaries. You reported break-in.
No, you're leaving those things out. That's why you're my lawyer, and
You
that's
did
why
let me
you
speak.
have all these documents. You should have put him on the phone with me. You should have never put him on the phone with me. That's why you're the lawyer. That's why you're the lawyer. That's why I give you all the information of everything that happens. If people wanted to fucking speak for themselves, they don't hire lawyers. I fucked enough to make sure I don't have to do that.
He asked for the complainant. He needs.
You heard what I said? You handle everything. Okay. I don't speak to nobody.
Okay.
Do you understand me?
I do.
Until I'm in front of a fucking judge who can stop all y'all bullshit and y'all power and abuse power.
You want a water before you leave?
No.
Now document that.
Are you coming with me?
I sure am. Let's go because we got to take care of my kids and what's important.
Let's go.
Okay?
Oh, and this is what
Stay on this live because we going to my kids' school.
Let's go.
This is what I'm taking. Hello?
Not a problem. You taking them fake Gucci sneakers, you taking them fake True Religion jeans, and you taking that other fake Gucci bag that was changed out of my house. That's what you're taking. I know. And that's over $20,000 worth of merchandise you got in your hand that's missing out of my house. That's a felony. Call State Farm and get my motherfucking money back because it was missing from out of my house. And I've been told you about that. My stuff was missing and you never filed the reports with State Farm. But you have all the insurance documents and everything for it. So we're not going to keep making it look like she's delusional or she's crazy or she's bugging because I did the right thing from the beginning. And it should have never prolonged for 3 years to make it look like there's something wrong with me. Anybody that goes through something for that long of a period of time, that is mental abuse by you as my lawyer and as my kid's lawyer. And everybody else that you refer me to that did nothing to help us. Now you want to talk about the law, but you're twisting the law. You knew about these phones being hacked because you paid a bill. And the Wi-Fi is in your damn name. And now Enrico.
Let me see my top. Let me take these because I need to towel now before I leave.
Not about to play with nobody. Ben, come here. What is my constitutional rights? What's the constitutional rights, Ben?
There's a lot of.
What's your amendments, Ben? What's the amendments? What's my amendments? What's the constitutional rights?
Of which one?
All of them. Break them down. Let's get the first 10.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of religion.
As you break down the first 10, tell me what they mean, please.
Freedom of speech means.
What does freedom of speech mean? They're watching you on live, so please let people know about their constitutional rights. This is very informative to them. Know your rights. Know your rights. Go ahead.
You have the right to freedom of expression. You could say what's on your mind. You have, as long as you don't shout in a movie theater, fire, and there's no fire. Because that would be a violation of that. You have the freedom of religion. You can practice
Freedom of speech. That means I can say what the fuck I want, how I want to say it. It don't make a difference, correct?
That's correct.
So does that make a person mentally ill because they speak the way they speak?
Not in my opinion. And not according to the Constitution.
Does that make a person mentally disturbed because they speak and they use their freedom of speech?
No.
Does anything that I said make me mentally ill? I'm speaking my mind?
No.
And feel it happening to me? Mentally ill? Right.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion. What does that mean?
You can practice any religion that you want. No one can prohibit you.
Meaning I don't have to worship nobody's believing. Correct? And nobody correct. Next one.
Freedom of
religion. Jewish, Muslim. Freedom of expression. What is the meaning of freedom of expression?
It means you can protest lawfully. You can wear whatever you want to wear. You can march if you get a permit and it's legal. You can speak your mind.
I could speak my mind. I have not been speaking my mind. So because I speak my mind, or a person speaks their mind, does that make them mentally ill?
No.
Does that make them mentally disturbed?
No.
Does that make them unable to take care of their kids?
You're very good at taking care of your kids.
I don't want to know about what I'm good at. I want to know, does that make a person not able to take care of their kids or not able to raise kids because they speak their mind?
No.
Next constitutional right.
The right to vote.
What about bear arms? Please break all the amendments down so they can know.
I don't know them all.
Okay, so one, the right to vote. Go, break it down.
It means if you go out, you have the right to vote. Every United States citizen has the right to vote if they register to vote. They can vote for anybody they want.
But that wasn't true so long ago because people my color could not vote, correct?
People of color could not vote until the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, but the fact is that white racists fought and are still fighting to prevent people of color from voting today. Also, women were not allowed to vote in this country until 1920.
Next one.
You said the right to bear arms. You have the right to bear arms in this country dependent upon the state's laws. If it requires registration, you have to register your weapon. Some states don't. There's carry permits, there's non-carry permits. So
are you allowed to bear arms in your home, keep a gun in your home, or a shotgun in your home to protect your home, no matter what state you're in?
Not in every state, no.
In New York?
In New York City, no. And outside of New York City, yes.
Suffolk County?
Suffolk County, you're allowed to keep.
Right. Suffolk County? Could you say that again?
Suffolk County.
I'm allowed to keep a what?
A weapon.
Correct. I'm allowed to bear arms here in my home to protect my home, correct? My family and my kids, correct?
That's right.
Can you please say it loud so they can hear you?
That's right. You can have a weapon to use as a defense if someone threatens you or your children or comes into your house to rob you or abuse you.
Next one. Well, Rico, where's the papers that you put up with the Constitution rights? One of the ones that was very important. Take that back upstairs. It's fine. You can have it. That's yours. And it's a new number. So, yeah, it changed. It has a new number and everything. We're supposed to set it up for you. That's yours. It works and everything.
I know the number.
Call JJ phone and you'll get the number. He can tell you. But you can look in the phone and get your phone number.
The one that we was talking about, double jeopardy, the Fifth Amendment, the grand jury.
Fifth Amendment means that you do not have to incriminate yourself. You cannot be forced to speak to a police officer, law enforcement officer, a district attorney without.
Does anyone have any permission or any rights to put any video or surveillance cameras in my home without my permission, or to use video, voice recordings, or anything in my home at any time to help the police, you, anybody else to get my kids taken away?
No, New York is a state where you have to have consent in order to do a recording, a recording of a telephone conversation or a video. You must have consent. Actually, it has to be verbal, and for a video, it has to be, you have to sign a paper, a waiver.
Okay. Next one, what's the other one, Rico? You gotta restructure. Let me get this one.
The equal protection.
Say it again.
Equal protection. This is the 14th.
What's the first couple of ones that we missed? Start from the top.
Can you give me one of those, please?
Your first is your right to religion, right to speech,
Thank you.
right to press, right to assembly, and
Freedom
petition.
of press.
What's freedom of press?
Freedom of press means that the press has the right to publish and disseminate information and articles so long as they don't intentionally put false things in the newspaper.
Your second
And they
name.
can say whatever they want as long as they have a reasonable belief that it's true.
But do you believe, hold on, before we go past that, do you 100% believe that that constitutional right stands, or do you believe that the press is controlled?
I think the press exerts a lot of control over what they publish.
And the
what
government
they
has a lot of things to do with what's posted in the press, by the press, what's posted.
I believe that Fox News is posting whatever the hell they want, and so is News America,
I mean,
which is propaganda. And
Which
racist.
means they post what they want you to see, what they want you to know. You think the fucking government didn't know about Corona? They didn't want y'all asses to know about it. Prime example.
Double jeopardy means you can't be charged for the same crime twice.
self-incrimination.
You have a right
due
to
process.
appear. That's the Fifth Amendment. You
You
don't
got
have, you don't-
quartering of soldiers for third and fourth is search and seizures.
They don't have the right to do a search or a seizure of any of your property without first obtaining a warrant, which is reviewed and signed by a judge and having probable cause.
What about someone being what does it mean to be innocent until proven guilty?
Exactly that. In America, you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have a trial before a jury of your peers. You have the right to legal representation of your choice if you can afford it, or else someone will be appointed
This
to
is the
you.
important one.
We've already spoken about that.
So should any agency or nonprofit or anything with domestic violence or anything go against a family listening to one person's sides and mistreat them or deny them help or to welfare or to food stamps or put any negligence on any type of their cases or hold up their cases or anything like that?
No, you're entitled to a fair hearing.
Okay. The other day, when I applied for my kids' food stamps and their things in their public assistant case, their case was approved, and then a couple of days later, a worker called and said, "I will play the conversation to you guys. I will release the worker's name, what department, and everything, and where she works from, her phone number, everything, and my case number." Okay, I applied for food stamps and everything for my kids as I am eligible for them. Everybody knows I have a HASA case. My HASA case was stopped over a year ago. My rent is how much up back due, Mr. Benjamin?
$28,000.
$28,000 of my back rent has not been paid. Did they not cut off my services in the middle of the pandemic of October of 2019?
They did.
Correct. Nothing was done, which caused me to have someone else to rely on me and pull money to be able to pay for my rent someplace else. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I had to also put my house and the place that I'm living at in someone else's name to protect me and my kids. Correct?
Yes.
So if I had to do all of these things back then in 2019, and you know and you're aware of these things, how does that make this person mentally ill in 2022?
You're not mentally ill.
How does that make that person incapable or unable to take care of their child? How can these charges be being brought against this person when we've been notified that people have been calling in and making false allegations against me and reporting to the health department and so forth? You witnessed, as a doctor stated from AHF, the director stated that she knew I had syphilis, correct?
Yes.
She knew I had syphilis and I was having sex with people and never told me to come and get treated because it wasn't that big of a deal. Correct?
That's what she said.
Why hasn't anything been done? That don't make sense. Yes, Lady Low, what's up, y'all? I contracted syphilis. I went and got myself tested in Brooklyn. They knew I had syphilis. They let me have sex for 3 months without telling me. Only up until I started finding out and having side effects. And I contacted them telling them something is wrong. Y'all did not treat me. The lady laughed in my face. That's how I slapped the motherfucking, that's how I slapped the registered nurse. Because they was laughing. And I said, you know how many people could have got affected? And you think this is funny? The director of this facility was the one who put, I denied to get treatment to cover her tracks. Mr. Benjamin, did the director of that facility put in the papers to the health department that I denied treatment?
Not only did he do that, he was rude.
A
to
woman,
you.
she did it.
Disrespectful and rude.
So they basically, what they did was make it look like I denied treatment for STD so that they can have the health department continue to follow me and investigate me as I'm transporting, giving other people STDs, going around giving people STDs. But the health department, AHF department, it's called, what is that place called? In the Closet, located in Brooklyn. In the Closet is where I go get treatment, which they have been denying me my medication. It got to one point where Mr. Benjamin had to pay over $1,500 out of his pocket, cash money, just to get my medication. Because these people kept cutting my Medicaid off. When you are diagnosed with HIV, no one should cut your Medicaid off. No one knows. Nobody should ever be able to cut your treatment off. Ever. No one should ever be able to play with your case. When a person is making these allegations that someone, how am I 38 years old? I've never had facial hair on my body. They started fucking with my hormones, making them testosterone, which is how I started growing a mustache. Why wasn't it being investigated if I told you my medication was being fucked with? And my medication all of a sudden started making me sick and sleepy. Now we going to my kids' school. All of this is documented. Why didn't you take the time out to sue AHF when you was on the phone with me, Ben? And this lady said to you on the phone when I said I could have affected Rico. And she said, okay, I noticed that your normal, pay attention. She said my normal test results should be a 1 through 4 for syphilis, meaning I don't have syphilis. But she noticed the day I came in, I got tested that it went past an 8. She tells me, oh, it's nothing to worry about. I said, what do you mean? I said, this is my fucking health. She didn't know Mr. Benjamin was on the phone. I said, I could have affected the boy I was just dealing with. What the fuck do you mean? She was like, well, if you want to get treated, you could come in and get treated, but it's not such a big deal. It only went from 1 to 8. If it moves, that means you have syphilis. And I should have been treated with a penicillin shot. She then went to cover her tracks because I told her she was being recorded and Mr. Benjamin was on the phone. What she did was told the health department and wrote in their computer system, I denied treatment after she told me to come in and get treated. And that was not the case. And he's right here and he could witness that. So why am I not suing these people? Why doesn't Rico have a lawsuit right now against them? Why is it being covered up? Do y'all know what syphilis does to somebody's brain and mind sitting in the body? Look up what syphilis does to your brain and your mind when it's sitting in the human body, especially if you're diagnosed with HIV. Also, look up when the health department gave a whole bunch of black men syphilis in Harlem. You know about that case, Mr. Benjamin, right?
No, I don't.
Well, look it up.
I
It's a
will.
true story.
Pat,
Now, let's
gotta
go to the school. That's fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
But I'm not letting nothing slide.
Don't.
Let's go, y'all. Load the car. Now.
We don't have our car.
Load.
Do we?
Can you please order one Uber so it can pick me up? Y'all can load in that one car, please.
Who's coming with me?
They go jump in the car. Go
The
ahead.
kids are coming with me?
Uh-huh.
And you're going in there?
And I'll go on the Uber behind, please.
Okay. What's the address of the school?
You gotta look it up. It's right around the corner, though.
Wait, I can't
Literally.
help you? No,
Please don't give me no Hondas, nothing like that, because I'm too tall
Pat,
to sit in.
I don't control. I'll ask for a big car.
Okay, please.
Stop that shit.
Okay. Hold on, don't be going. I know that you always hook me up with the best of the best. I know. I know. He does, y'all. He does. He always hook me up, but he don't know how to order cars.
Then you do it. Here, use my phone. JJ has the app as well. It's too much. Come on. Come on. That's it.
You better chill out.
No, I'm not.
Listen, y'all, listen. One thing is, I believe in right is right and wrong is wrong, and
Yeah,
I'm
me
never
too.
ever, I'm
And
never
God
ever
will
going.
be the judge.
I'm
Go
never
get your
ever
jackets.
ever going to change that.
Now,
Okay. Ow.
Jackets to go get in the cover bin.
What's the address of the school?
Go get in the
JJ,
cover.
look it
You
up.
putting them in the car with you, or they get in the cover bin?
Huh?
The kids ride with us, or they get in the cover bin?
Me, you gonna ride in one car there, both.
Y'all get in the cover bin. Go get your jackets.
JJ, give me the address to the school, please.
Let me see. What's
It's just look up Coral Elementary. I don't know that address. I just know it's around the corner.
Are you sure that's the name?
Mhm.
It's not Longwood?
No, Coral Elementary.
what you want to take a XL, right?
No, get the big one so
So-
she doesn't say I met.
A
I
lot
met
of people
with
can
it.
understand. Me and my kid's mother was having threesomes
Which one
in
you
Florida,
wanna
and I
take? XL
believe,
or Premier? XL or
Which one?
Premier?
I believe that
That's it.
You did it?
someone who was working for the health department, child was infected,
Daughter, get your ass down.
and she's using that situation in her power to hurt me wherever I go because we were threatened by her. One of the things she said to me that I'll never forget is if we didn't give her our sexual partners, I will regret. She will make my life a miserable hell, and I will regret that. I've been trying to have this lady investigated since.
Rico, you got a minute? Yes, of course. You got
Hey, my love.
Hey,
I
what's up,
inboxed
dude?
you because I text the other person. Hey, baby. I inboxed you my number because I got a new phone, so everything got blurred, and I text the other person. So just I shot you my number in there.
I'm
Okay.
gonna check it right now, so I'm gonna end my live. The next time you see anything or hear anything, you'll be on Zeus panel. Thank you, Zeus. That's what I was
Here.
looking for. Thank you. So we won't talk no more about anything.
Over for you.
That's it. Now y'all gonna go with me to the school.
They about to gag.
Let's go.
11 minutes for you.
11 minutes. What's wrong? Come on. What you need?
Go get your jacket.
You need your who?
Go
Chrysler,
Go look on
Town and
Cat 4.
Country.
Go look on Cat 4.
What, the polo? The
The
black?
black jokers in the room. And Cat 4. Cat 4.
Okay, that's it. So y'all will hear no more about the story. If you want to know, I will give everything over to Zeus, and he will dissect it and do the right thing, because that's an honest person. And I know one thing is he's going to give y'all the truth and get down to the bottom of everything. And that's who I trust to give my story to, because I know it's going to be done right. Okay? With the truth. One thing is, I'd rather you tell me, yo, Cat, you're wrong for that. You understand? Than to lie and smile up in my face. You understand? I know my rights. I know my wrongs. That's it. We're human. We all make fucking mistakes. Period. That's it. But nobody deserves the right to keep being tormented, fucked with, or have anything lied on them or have their character deframed because you're upset. Wrong. Sorry. No.
I just sent all our numbers because your phones be getting intercepted too as well. So I just sent them your number, my number, and JJ number.
What I want to do with Zeus, I don't want to probably do something. I'm going to see if we could meet in person. If we are both in New York,
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to have everything arranged when we're in person in a private place.
Zeus, I just sent you over both numbers. Check your inbox.
Brother Kitty seemed too
Text
crazy,
the-
he gonna send it
text
with
the-
1020 bodyguard.
Zeus, text the first number now so we can set up what day you want to do the interview live. We'll set it all up.
Talking to me?
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? We feed y'all when I come back, okay?
I love my babies. I love my babies. What's up, my girls? What's up, my girls?
We gotta move.
Yes, everybody, let's go. Let's rock and roll.